Hey, girl.
Hey.
What's your cute self? Your skin shining and stuff. How are you, girl?
I'm good.
I've been hearing things about you. You've been doing a lot. You've been doing a lot of work. So tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, first and foremost, my name is Rodrika Simmons.
Mm-hmm.
I'm from Greenville, Mississippi. I'm an author and publisher. I have. I also make customized T-shirts, vases, stuff like that.
You do it all.
I have my own YouTube called God's Purpose with Rodrika Simmons. On on Saturday nights at 11, I go live on Instagram and Facebook to do intercession with others as well. Basically, I'm just really starting or whatever and picking up my work and stuff like that.
Oh.
Doing work for God and helping others.
Yeah. Tell us about your relationship with God.
My relationship with God. I would say I have a very different relationship with God that some may not have, because I'm not a lukewarm person, so I don't have a lukewarm relationship with God. I spend time with God almost might well say every day. I'm never out of God's presence. I meditate. I with Him. I talk with Him all through the day. I just have he's my best friend, might as well say, because I have the type of relationship I have with him is a relationship that it's a certain type of relationship that I just built over time with him, over months and time and stuff I spent with him, that is like probably like a relationship I would have with a friend or a mother or something like that, because I keep him a part of my everyday life.
So when people want to have a relationship or hear the voice of God talking to them, and they've been praying, they've been fasting, they've been doing a lot, and still can't hear from God, what they should do?
It's either because God is talking to them, but their spiritual ear isn't open to hear His voice, so they need to just ask God to confirm everything that they hear God is saying to them. If they feel like He's been talking to them, they just need to ask Him to confirm that it's actually Him talking to them. Or they could make, sometimes when God don't answer you, it's because it means you're doing something right, so you don't need an answer back from Him. He just wants you to keep doing what you're doing until you hear from Him again, or whatever, or hear your next step or whatever. Sometimes it's because something is blocking your ear gates to your spiritual ear. So you need to get distractions out the way. You need to get in His presence, meditate in His presence, or and stuff like that, and get some alone time with Him. Get the wrong things, like watching the wrong things on TV or listen to the wrong type of music and stuff like that. Get the wrong things out your ear, And if you do listen to certain music, don't let it take over your spirit and consume your spirit, because it'll be very hard to hear what God is saying, and the enemy will be speaking to you, and you'll think it's really God speaking to you at times, even much.
So, I heard that you got a book called Make It Out. Tell us about that.
Make It Out is basically the title just speaks for itself. It's how it just explains how I made it out of different things, and it's to help others that probably have experienced the things that I have experienced in life and need help getting up out of it and making out of it. And it's just making it out of situations, making it out of the, like, your environment, and finding something better, and trying to build you into a better person with God, and letting people know how God can help them make it out of the things that they're trying to come out of. You know?
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah. So where can we purchase the book?
You can purchase a book on Amazon Kindle. You can purchase a book on iBooks. You can purchase it. You can go to Goodreads, Nobles, and hold on, what it's called? Kindle and Barnes and Nobles, Central. Also, it's basically almost everywhere. Just go online and look up "Make It Out" by Rodrika Simmons, and it'll pop up on each platform that it falls up under. You can find it up on a bookshop, even which.
Okay, let's take a step back. You said the enemy can talk to you as well. So how do you discern the voice of God and the devil?
Okay, so first of all, you have to ask God for discernment. You have to get in God's word. You have to read your Bible, get in God's word. The more time that you spend with God, the more His voice will become more clear to you, even much. His voice becomes more louder to you the more time you spend with Him, and the more time you stay in His word, and the more time you stay praying. And you also ask God to give you discernment, because not only because the enemy will be speaking to you in your spiritual ear, but He'll also send false prophets or false people out here and that's in His world out here to come speak to you and stuff like that. So you most definitely need discernment of spirits, because without discernment of spirits, it will be very hard. Because you'll be hearing one thing, and then you'll be hearing another that's not of God, but you'll be thinking it's of God because it seems like it can be God, but it's not Him that's speaking. Actually speaking through those people, or actually speaking to you. So you have to just ask God for discernment.
Okay. So right now you working on another book. Another book. Second book. Tell us about that. What's this project about?
Okay, my second book is actually already done, but I'm just making a few adjustments to it. It's called 100 poems and prayers. Basically, it has 100 different topics that God gave me to pray about for not only just myself but others as well. It has a Bible verse for each and every topic. It's in alphabetical order from the topics are in alphabetical order, and it has
How old you are?
19.
19.
Yeah.
Wow, that's amazing for a 19-year-old. So tell us about the spiritual realm.
The spirit. Ooh. Oh, okay. First of all, there are different dimensions of the spiritual realm. So yeah, in the spiritual realm, like by me being a very spiritual person, that's how I was able to experience so much in the spiritual realm and see so much, because in the spiritual realm I fight so many battles, not only for myself but on behalf of others as well, because because I have a lot of people connected to me, because I pray for a lot of people.
Yeah.
Like people that I don't even know even much. I pray for them as well.
Yeah.
So I fight a lot of battles in the spiritual realm. Some people probably won't believe some of the things that I say that occurred with me, and they can occur in the spiritual realm, but it's very real, and it's happening. It's really happening. It's very real. And some parts of the spiritual realm are these demonic spirits that I had to fight. Still have to fight battles.
Yeah.
Because I'm not only fighting on my behalf, but others' behalf too. And my first time actually seeing myself fight in the spiritual realm, it was something that I didn't really understand at the time, because at the time I was just becoming a spiritual person or whatever. So God was just showing it to me. God was showing it to me, but I really didn't understand it or whatever. So my very first time fighting in the spiritual realm, I was armored up. Like I had shield, like I had I don't know what they call it, but it's like these things and they had blades on them and stuff like that, and I was shielded up, and I was just shielded up like I was about to fight. That's not my first time in the spiritual realm fighting a demonic force, but my first time I fought the demonic force. I wasn't really as strong or whatever, but yeah. But that was probably my second time seeing myself fighting in fighting a demonic force or whatever, and I was amazed at the armor that I had on. It's like God just placed a whole armor on me. So I was like amazed by it.
What made you start to get close to God?
One night I was just okay, I always grew up in a church anyways. And I always kind of had a relationship with God, but I didn't have a very spiritual relationship with God at the time. So I had kind of drawn away from God or whatever, and one night I was just really down and going through something, and I was alone, and I was like, I had so much on my mind, and I was like, and I had really just started back talking to God again, started back praying to God again. So this night I just was shut up in a room by myself, listening to gospel music. I'll never forget it, because I was listening to Jehovah Jireh by Jacqueline Carr, right? And oh Jesus, I'll never forget it. And I was like, you know what? I just was on my knees. I was in the bed, balled up on my knees, like just like a little turtle or something, in the bed. And I was crying and crying out to God, and I was praying and crying out to God. And I was like, God, I'm coming back. I just kept saying I'm coming back and stuff like that. I didn't understand what I meant by it or whatever at the time. Bless me. I didn't understand what I meant by that at the time when I was saying it, but now I do understand. I was like, God, I'm coming back. And then I was like, and I remember how once before I tried to speak in tongues, tried to learn how to speak in tongues, but I couldn't learn it. I guess because they say it's not going to happen to you unless you really want it or whatever. So this night I must have really wanted it, because I was like, I kept saying Jesus, in Jesus' name, and I kept and I remember my mother, she spake in tongues, and I remember something that she was saying one day when she spake in tongues, and I repeated it over and over and over again. I was just crying, I was just stuck saying Jesus, Jesus. And the next thing I know, my tears turned from sorrow to tears of joy, and I just couldn't stop praying in tongues. It's like my spirit had woken up on the inside of me, and I just couldn't stop. I was there all night, just study going. I really almost stayed up that whole night with God. That's the first time I ever stayed up a whole night within God's presence, actually. So I didn't go to sleep until about probably 4 or 5 in the morning, and I still had the gospel music playing. That's when I first started having the type of dreams I was having or whatever, and I didn't know why I was having those certain type of dreams or whatever it is, and I just figured out it was God sending those dreams to me, or the enemy will be trying to attack me spiritually in my dreams and in the spiritual realm as real well. So I was actually being shown the spiritual side at this point of what was going on with me, because it's really best to get to be a spiritual person, because you never know what's going on spiritually. Because we walk this earth day to day in the flesh, and us living in the flesh, we never know what we're really battling and facing in this world until you build yourself up spiritually. And that's the best thing I could have ever done. That's why I try to tell people, build a spiritual relationship with God, because it'll help you a lot and save you from a lot that you probably didn't even know. Because I didn't know the demons that I was facing, the demons that I was battling, and I was being so undefeated by these demons, and they was taking full control over me. And when my spirit woke up or whatever, it angered them because I was able to fight them now. I was able to fight them back now, and it angered them to the point where they would be so furious at me each and every time they'll come try to fight me, and they'll try to come fight me stronger and stronger and stronger each and every time. But it wouldn't work, you know. So yeah.
So fast forward, and you had a dream, and God told you to call someone, and you called them, and they had that same dream. Okay. That was the first time. It's the first time God was speaking to you, or he had spoke to you before that.
That was probably the second time hold on. Actually, that was the very first encounter I had when I was talking about that I had battling of the money spirit or whatever. And what it was so crazy, because God was trying to show me that this was a generational curse, a generational stronghold that my family was bound to. Actually, this demonic spirit that I was fighting is a demonic spirit that has attacked almost all my family, and they don't know what they're facing and what they're battling with, because they haven't built their relationship with God. But he's been using me and to break generational curses, not only for myself but for my family or whatever. That's the concept of that. And it's like, it was so crazy because me and 2 other people had very, very similar dreams that day, and that's how I figured out God was just showing us all and trying to tell us something. Because when I became spiritually built a spiritual relationship with God, I became a very prayerful person, and I started praying for the people that I was close with and close to and that was around me as well. So by me doing that, all of us was connected in spirit at this point. So we weren't just only family, but we at this point we was all connected in spirit.
Yeah.
So that's why we all had this dream trying to show us what we were battling in our family or whatever, in the spiritual realm, that we didn't know this force that we was battling, that we didn't know we was battling spiritually or whatever. So he was trying to save a lot of us from some things.
Yeah.
And I still have to, and the thing is, it's some people that I had to draw back from and separate from, because he told me separate from them. But he told me that I still have an assignment in their life, so I still have to do like, he still to send me dreams to let me know when I'm supposed to pray for certain things for them and stuff like that. It's a lot of people that I had to separate from because God told me to separate from them, but they'll still come up in my dreams every once in a while when he wants me to pray for them about certain things that they don't even know going on with themselves, because they don't have the type of relationship that I have with them. So I really am fighting for on the behalf of so many others. But I kind of enjoy fighting for that. You know, I enjoy it now, and I don't even fear the things, the demons that I see anymore. And I even see angels at times. So I'm not just gonna act like I don't see. I just see the money things. I don't just see the money things. I see angels too. Hallelujah. I am an angel. You know.
Yeah.
I'm an earth angel. Thank you, Lord. God said, you are an angel. Thank you, Lord. So I'm an earth angel, you know. So that's why I fight the battles that I have to fight, you know. And it's a lot of us that's in the spiritual realm that's fighting battles for people, and some of us don't even know that we're fighting those battles. Some of us see it, some of us don't.
Yeah.
And that's why you have to build a relationship that you have to build with God, so you can know what's going on with you and stuff like that going on around you.
Okay. God gave you an assignment, and that's to be a prophetess. A prophetess. That's how you call it, a prophet.
Prophetess.
A prophetess. Okay. He gave you an assignment and to do that, and he gave you an assignment to better other people's lives. You enjoyed it. You kind of enjoy yourself, and you learn from other people's mistakes. Tell us about your parents, because was they like you?
I don't just learn from others' mistakes. I learn from my mistakes as well. But basically, my mom, she's a intercessor or whatever. She's a prayer warrior. She's spiritual as well. She hears from God. She's an intercessor. She's a book of every trade, actually, you know. So God also uses her, but He's been trying to use her more, but she hasn't woke up to her calling or whatever yet. But she's a spiritual person as well. So I'm able to learn a lot of things from her. Like, at first I used to have to always call her when I have certain dreams that I didn't understand.
Yeah.
Sometimes I still do have to call her to interpret dreams for me. But now I'm able to interpret dreams for myself because God has let me know what they mean, or let me know what other people's dreams mean. And so, well, me and my mother, we always had like me and my mother always had a better relationship than I did with my father, whatever, my dad or whatever. And my dad, I wouldn't say he's a very spiritual person or whatever, but
Yeah. So the people around you, you connect to your mother. You learn some things from her. Your father, you learn some things from her. I know your church family, you learn some things from them. What about your big sister? I know you had to learn some things from her too, as well.
I wouldn't necessarily say that. But yeah, I probably learned because I don't fault my parents for it but they haven't always been in me and my sister's life. So me and my sister basically had only had each other and raised each other because it was times that, like, okay, on my dad's side I do have other siblings, but it was times where they weren't there and they didn't even. It was times me and my sister were homeless together and they didn't even know it because we weren't around them, you know. And it was times that things would be going, like me and my sister went through every trial together. It's like we cried so many tears together, we faced so many trials together, and my sister is probably more of a strong person than I am, to be honest, because some of the things that, like, she's more of a fighter than I am, to be honest. If I could be honest, I just feel like she's more of a fighter than I am. Yeah, I probably fought some things, but when I fought some things, when I fought the things that I fought, I cried. I was a crybaby. I'm a crybaby. Yeah, I fight strong battles, but I'm also a crybaby. So my sister, she's not much of a crybaby like I am. She's not very emotional like I am. So I'll say I learned how to be strong from her. I say, I really have learned a lot from her. She's the one who taught me how to tie my shoes. For real, me and my sister that's just the real, we got through a lot together. Yeah, got through a lot together.
So what's next?
I can't really tell you what's next. It's whatever God has. It's whatever God has for me next. But hopefully, very soon, I can turn Pain for Purpose Ministry into a non-profit, like I've been trying to do. I'm letting God, like, I don't make a decision without God. I let God lead me because it's His will and not mine. And sometimes I have a hard time getting that, and I have a hard time submitting to His authority. But it's all about submission to authority and following God's will for your life. And that's a lot of that people wonder why certain things don't go right for them, and or when they try a certain type of way, or why certain things don't go how they think it should go, is because you have to submit to God's will for your life, and let Him lead you, and you follow, because God can most definitely just show you the way to go in every situation. Like, I don't care what it is. I don't make no decision without Him. God taught me how to do a lot of things that most people wouldn't have expect God to teach me, because they don't know the God that I know. The God that I know He can teach you everything. He can be everything, and
Mhm.
like I just love. I can sit and talk about God every day. I can every day, all day. I can sit and talk about Jesus all day, every day, because of what the the growth that I have,
Mhm.
and the mindset that I developed, and by building a relationship with him and stuff like that. So I can't really say what's next, but hopefully this book will be out soon because it's about to be published. Because because when God tell me He gonna do something, I just have no other choice but to believe He gonna do it. So if He tell me it's gonna be published, it's gonna be published this year. So there'll be 2 books that I published in 1 year. Matter of fact, and hopefully I can get the nonprofit built. Hopefully I can hopefully I can reach more people and help more people into their purpose as well. I can't really say what's next.
Well, I wish you the best. See you.
Thank you.